Good morning and welcome to Waking Up with Don. I'm here in the beautiful and historic Martin Theater with the beautiful and talented, multi-talented Casey Najjar. You're in a play again.
Again.
And what's this one? What's this one about?
Sweeney Todd,
Yeah.
the demon barber of Fleet Street.
The demon
about
barber.
a man who is sent away to prison by a judge who wants his wife. And he steals his wife. He comes back about 20 years later, and he wants revenge.
Ooh. So now I see we've got some props from the show here, and there's a meat grinder and a knife and a rolling pin.
We've got it all.
Yeah, so I think some of the rivals actually turn into sausage or something somewhere along the way.
Meat pies is what they're
Meat
turned
pies,
into.
that's
Yeah,
it. So it's,
yeah.
so it's kind of a black comedy, isn't it?
It is a black comedy, but we have a lot of music and a lot of laughter, so you have to come and see it.
Yeah, I'm dying to see it. Now, you know, the thing that always kind of amazed me about people who get up in front of a big crowd is like, that's got to be the most stressful thing in the world. I mean, public speaking, you know, being in front of a lot of people, that's stressful for most people. I think, is there something in an actor's DNA that makes them want to do this, or?
You know, I think sometimes you're just born with it. I see a lot of kids that have natural ability to talk in front of people and talk in front of cameras, and I think, someday that kid's going to be an actor. So yes, I do think it's in the DNA, but too, I think later on in life you could, if it's something you wanted to do, you could get on stage and learn how to do it.
And it has a lot of purposes too. I mean, what do you get out of it personally? I mean, afterwards you have a feeling of accomplishment. Is it therapeutic for you in some way?
Well, it's definitely my passion, and my husband and I talk about this because my husband gets his high off of jumping out of airplanes, where I get mine off of being on stage. So yeah, I guess in a sense it's kind of like a rush that you've been working so hard for this one night, and it just all comes together, and that in a sense gives you this sense of pleasure and like a rush, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you know, there are times, you know, when I come on a TV show or radio, I kind of get it. I'm like, oh, I'm so unprepared. I don't know how I'm going to make it through. And then afterwards, when it's done, it's like, that wasn't so bad. It actually came out all right.
Yeah, well, definitely when you're unprepared, that's when it's the scariest, because you get on stage and then you're like this and it shows to the audience, although you have to learn to fake it. Just like I'm sure on television, you have to learn to fake a lot of mistakes.
I've based a whole career on faking it, so I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so the same thing with acting. You have to just kind of, you have to really be prepared. And for Sweeney Todd, I have to say we have been working our tails off to make this happen. So
how often do you guys rehearse? I mean, when do you start? I mean, the show starts when? I mean,
well, we open March 21st.
So you open March 21st.
So we've been, gosh.
When did you start rehearsing for?
End of January, was it?
Wow.
Mid-January? I'm getting all my shows mixed up.
And how frequently do you guys
get
together?
We go usually Monday through Thursday, and now we've been adding Sundays. Monday through Thursday, like 7 to 9, and then Sundays we have like maybe from 1 to 4.
Wow.
1 to 5. I think this Sunday will be a long Sunday for us, since we're going to be opening this Friday. Yeah,
it sounds like a really cool hobby. You know, I mean, you really got to be dedicated to it. And the few actors that I've had on the show, you know, they just seem like awesome people.
We are.
I know, no, really.
We rock the house.
No, really. It just seemed like people who are really full of life. You know, and just want to live it out there and
you know, you get all kinds of actors. You get some that are very quiet, and then they go on stage and they're a totally different person, and then you get some big mouths like you and me.
The secret's out. We have big mouths.
Yeah.
Like Mel Tillis, remember that singer? He stuttered. He was a horrible stutterer.
Yes,
but once he started singing, the guy was glorious. It was
That's
unbelievable.
Right. Yeah. A lot of actors.
We got to run off to a break. I want to talk more about this particular production. I speak this particular production on the other side of these messages, and we're going to go to your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don. I am here in the historic Martin Theater with the lovely and vivacious Casey Najjar, and she's going to be in this play called
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, and Sweeney Todd has murder, mayhem, comedy, singing, a little something for everyone.
Lots of singing. It's more of a musical than
Yeah.
anything, but you get all kinds of singing. Go ahead.
Now, no, I wanted to ask you, what's all this stuff? Now, we're here, this is kind of a cooking segment, quasi.
This would be the cooking segment for Mrs. Lovett, who turns the bodies into meat pies.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was what she kind of rolls the dough in. And we've got the stuff to chop
Yes,
here.
and the food processor here.
Yeah, to grind the meat.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now, does she sing in the kitchen when she does all this?
She does sing.
While
She
she's-
sings and she sings a lot.
Really?
While she does the cooking, and Sweeney Todd joins her eventually. And we all get to try the meat pies too.
Whether you know it or not.
Exactly.
Whether
They
you
just don't know what they're
if
eating.
Oh, we're getting meat pie, so it's sort of
That's
like
right.
yeah, sort of like the soup Nazi, but everybody gets some because it's
Yeah.
really, really good stuff.
That's right.
People
Yes.
love the meat pies,
Yes.
but they have no idea that they're eating other people.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's
yeah.
the whole dark side of this.
That is the
funny
dark
play.
side of it, but it's, you're showing the gruesome side, but it's really a funny comedy, dark, funny comedy.
Yeah, that's a great stuff. Now, what song does she sing, and what songs do you sing?
Well, I play Joanna, and I would be Sweeney Todd's daughter.
Oh.
I sing a song called Green Finch and Linnet Bird, and I sing a duet with my love interest, Anthony, called Kiss Me.
Oh, do you mind? I'm going to put you on the spot. I mean, we're here in the theater.
Kiss me. That's a little. Not with
No,
that.
it's like, I love you, so I have to kill you. That's
Yeah.
kind of the whole
Yeah,
theme of
exactly.
this thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing stuff. So the production starts March what?
March 21st,
Yeah.
we open on Friday, and we go the 22nd, and that's the Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and then that's Sunday at 2 p.m., a matinee. And then the next week is the 27th, which is on a Thursday night. It's a 2-for-1.
Okay.
So
A twofer.
remember that. That's the twofer
Yeah.
on the 27th, and then we go the 28th and 29th.
How do
so
we get the
plenty
tickets?
Of time.
How do we get them? Do we just show up at the door? Or do
You will call the Martin Theater, which is 763-8080. Make reservations. Do it now. Or you can make them you can come to the Martin, but it's probably best you do it over the phone.
Yeah, I think that's a swell idea. We're gonna run off now, and I want to talk to some other people who are involved in the theater here, because I want to get a sense of how important these type things are to a community this size. Are we doing the right thing when it comes to arts?
We are doing a magnificent job.
Yes,
this
you are.
town has a great theater program. We really do. I'm proud. I'm proud to say Panama City has an excellent theater program.
Even if it involves murder and mayhem. And we'll be right back after your Max Biz tip from Zenobia.
Hello, Zenobia Andrews here, your business system strategist, and I wanted to personally invite you to my upcoming event entitled Max Out Business Lab Training Volume 3. It's entitled Make Money Work Less by Mastering Business Systems. That's right, business systems. You say systems? Yes. I'm here to share with you that business systems are hot. They are hot and juicy. So I am personally inviting you to meet me here April the 26th, 2014 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in the Max Out Studios. I only have spaces or spots available for 25 people. So if you think that's you, I ask you to meet me here. The registration cost is only $69 up until February the 28th. $69. You can afford that, right? It's going to be an amazing time. I'm going to be sharing with you how to leverage business systems, how to become a business systems thinker. I'm going to also reveal to you, I'm going to be revealing to you my max out methodology on how to create business systems. We're going to be talking about sales automated systems, client attraction. Who could use more clients, right? Yes, business systems are hot. You want to make sure that you are here. All you have to do if you want to register today, right now, is go to my website, www.zenoviaandrews.com. I am here to support you, and let's continue to press towards the max.
I'm here with Dr. Stephen Favaloro at Forest Park Animal Hospital, and we're going to get our pet tip for the week. Doc, what do we need to look out for now?
Well, I think this would be a good time to talk about fleas. We're going into spring break. It's going to start warming up pretty soon, and usually this is when the time we get people coming in and their dogs are infested with fleas. They have flea
From
problems.
the spring breakers, do they catch them from them?
Well, it depends on where they come from, but no.
Depends on the school.
So, yeah,
not LSU though, right?
no. Well, it's pretty humid there, so
Yeah, okay.
that's an important part of the flea cycle, actually.
But it is warming up, and as the warm weather comes along, the fleas start to multiply or breed, I suppose.
What happens is by the time most people realize that they have a flea infestation, the flea infestation's already started, 3 to 8 weeks previously. And most people don't really see the first couple of fleas on their dog. They usually start to see the fleas on their dog when they're starting to get bit, and maybe they're going to jump on the owner if they get dislodged, sitting next to the owner, or if they're really infested. And those fleas that you see on your dog, if they've been there for a little while, they're already starting to lay eggs. And so what ends up happening is the fleas you see now are from eggs that got laid 3 to 8 weeks ago. And what happens is if you have, you can have a life cycle for a flea that can go 17 to 21 days if everything's perfect. So if you have like 80-degree weather for 3 weeks or more, and relative 70-75% humidity, then you can have a flea lay an egg and then have it go from the larvae to the pupae to the adult, and that'd be 17 to 21 days. And one flea could lay, depending on what literature you read, anywhere from 20 to 50 eggs a day.
Holy mackerel.
And one flea could live for 100 days. So 20% of that cycle really makes it in the Gulf region. Up north there in the Midwest, it's really dry, so the humidity is not really that high, maybe 5%. But you figure you take even the conservative 20 eggs a day, 100-day lifespan of 2,000 eggs, and then only 20% of them make it. You still got 200 fleas from eggs
if you
from
just
one
do the
flea.
math and extrapolate on that, you've got
So by the time you
got a problem.
You get that client that comes in and the dog's got 6, 7, 10 fleas on them. Well, if they've been on that dog for 4 or 5 days, they're already laying eggs. They've already come from 3 to 8 weeks ago. So you've already, in theory, got an infestation. So, we start, educating the public on, how we're going to go about treating this.
How do you keep your dog from getting fleas? Or cat, for that matter? Do flea collars work?
Well,
do you have to keep them out of the trees and the woods? I mean, how does your dog catch fleas?
Well, we do have a problem with dogs climbing trees, and no. So basically, the biggest thing is controlled environment. So if you can control your environment and not have fleas brought into your environment, then you won't have a problem. And I always say the best flea product works in a flea-free environment.
Yeah, I
So
suppose.
there's all these products out there, and most of them do a good job. Kind of a lot of what the theory now is if you do have a flea infestation, we try to stop the life cycle at the host, or like at the where the dog or the cat. And you can do a lot of environmental cleanup, and that helps and all. But through a combination of like adulticides and insect growth regulators, which your veterinarian will be more than happy to talk to you about. You can, it'll take you 3, 4, 5 weeks before you really get control of your problem. But if you have an infestation, there are good methods to get it under control. It's just going to take a little while.
Well, we need to know that about the pets as it gets warmer, and they apparently they have a very long life cycle.
Well, it's actually a short life cycle, because if you figure just like 17 to 21 days is nothing really. If you consider, and then say you kill all your adults.
Can they live without a host? Can a flea live without a dog or a cat to survive?
Well, yes, if you're just limiting the question to dogs and cats. So like let's say that you had a flea infestation and the dog or a cat was in your room, and so you eliminate them from your room, but you've had eggs that have been hatched on those dogs and cats that have rolled off onto the carpet. So now you've got your perfect scenario of 80-degree weather, 70-75% humidity. Bang, these fleas are going to hatch, and then they've never been on a dog or a cat before, so they go to you. So all of a sudden you got fleas all over you. That all they need is a host, a blood meal to survive.
Yuck. And on that note, that's been our pet tip for the week. Dr. Stephen Favaloro, thanks for getting us smart on fleas. I'm here with Ron Holdman, the director of the Met here at the Martin Theater. The Met, Metropolitan, no? What is it?
The Martin Ensemble Theater.
Oh, Martin Ensemble Theater. And
Right.
you're the director of Sweeney Todd.
Correct.
But you also hold a position with the Met.
Well, no, the Met is a program, a community program that has different directors for different shows, and then I'm directing this particular show.
I see. So now we've got some of this stuff here, and we're getting this look kind of behind the scenes
Right.
of Sweeney Todd. What's this card all about over here?
This card, when it's finished, will be the card of a false barber named Pirelli. And he comes into town, he sells an elixir to make hair grow, and he pulls teeth, and he cuts hair, and he shaves and everything. But he's a charlatan that we find out a little later. I don't want to tell too much.
Yeah, spoiler
But,
alert.
He's a
over
charlatan.
here, yeah.
But this is an unfinished wagon. This will be beautifully done by a wonderful art teacher, Cindy Smith, who's done a lot of this.
That's great. And I know you've got all these props around here. Now, what's this little pot all about?
Don, put that down.
Okay.
That's a urinal.
Okay then. Now this looks like where some action may happen here. What's the significance of
Right.
this part of this?
Now, this, of course, is unfinished. These staircases, this will be raised up 9 feet. This
Okay.
platform will. And then the staircase will come up, and so this is the barber shop. And then below the barber shop will be the pie shop. So I just try to imagine this is a 9-foot high cube that turns and wheels all around the stage. This moving staircase ushers people from this scaffolding to that scaffolding. It's going to be a very raw theatrical production, as what you see here is pretty much going to be the set.
Wow, it's amazing stuff. So when on show night, will you see any of this stuff?
You'll see all of this.
Okay.
I'm not using any of the legs. It's going to have a very industrial look. This will be pretty much the same back here. And your visuals will be your lights. The lights will cue your eyes as to what you're looking at
I
at
see.
particular times.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a very innovative project.
Yeah, you almost have to suspend disbelief for
Right.
a little while to really get into the whole production. I would imagine. Now, what happens in this chair? I tried to sit in it before. And
Don't sit in this chair, Don.
Don't
This
touch
is-
that pot. Don't sit in that chair.
This is where
Yeah.
the murders take place.
okay.
Sweeney Todd is
Yeah.
bent on revenge. He's been dealt a wrong by a judge, as Casey pointed out earlier, and he sets up shop, and he's going to kill all of his enemies by slitting their throats.
Wow.
And it takes place in this chair.
Yikes. We got to, on that happy note, we're going to run off to a break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. I'm here with Ron Mashburn, who plays the evil judge in Sweeney Todd. And I got to tell you, this rare look behind the scenes is a real eye-opener for me.
This is a different kind of set. Normally
Yeah.
you have curtains and things to block off all the outside view, but here we see the raw stage. It's very interesting.
And who knew this spiral staircase was over here and all this other stuff that's behind. Now, I've been to plays here.
It's all
You
part
know?
of getting the job done.
It
here.
really is,
Yes.
and you create that illusion with really just just theater of the mind, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Through lights and props and and spaces. I mean, you really can get into it. Now,
And so much of this show is sound too. The music, the complexity of the music and the singing is what attracted me to this show.
yeah. Now you play this evil judge.
Yes, I'm a very bad man.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and you do get your comeuppance in the play somewhere along the way.
I
would imagine.
do. I do. I end up on the floor.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Do you wind up in a meat pie, or do you want to keep that for later?
We'll not give anything away.
Okay, no spoilers here on Waking Up with Don. And the show opens up this Friday, right?
This Friday, 7:30, the 21st. Get your tickets now.
This is going to be an awesome play, and I really appreciate you guys showing me around. So, great music, great talent, funny yet black comedy, and you've got the Martin Theater here at your disposal, which really is just a great little palace here.
It's a wonderful venue.
Yeah.
It really is, yes.
Yeah, it is a great space, and I think people are going to have a good time. I plan on coming here. Now, is this something children should watch or not so much?
Probably not so much.
Maybe older kids.
Yes.
Maybe somebody who's a little older who can kind of get in. Now, did you want that part of The Evil Judge, or?
I had no idea what I was getting into.
Okay, so you auditioned, and then you'd make a great evil judge. Is that how that worked out?
I guess they saw something in me
Yeah.
that I didn't see in myself. I don't know.
Actually, I'm getting a little creeped out anyway. No. Ron Mashburn, thanks so much for showing me around, and thanks for letting us have this behind-the-scenes peek. And
Thank you.
make sure to get your tickets to this Friday, Sweeney Todd at the Martin Theater.
We'll see you here.